Jordan. Game 1 in the books, over to game 2 now, and let's see if there's any differences here in terms of how these teams play it out.
Yeah, definitely a big fan of Erangel. I think for a few teams, Creatory, Ferox, Myth, these guys down toward the bottom of things, Buriram, United Esports, they probably are going to be looking to change things up after what we saw from them in game number 1. Getting 1 or 2 points out of the first game of the day is probably not ideal at all. But I think for, in particular for Made in Thailand, they did end up in 7th place, so it's not like that's a terrible placing.
Ferox is one of them. Also, the other one is Creatory Esports, who, well, not going to be bouncing back with 1405 on the roster, that's for sure, because he's about to die to Turtle. And, well, I guess that also ruins with what I was going to say in the hopes that they have a better game too. Look, you've still got 3 players alive, but not a good start.
Well, it's good news for Divine Esports.
Or Victim from the future. Him and Linksy both trying to get that exact same angle on RDK, and they're both going to connect. Man's going to return fire, but not enough to get the knockdown onto Linksy. We touched on Linksy a little bit at the start, Jordan. Not much other than that, though. And a massive addition for Atletico, originally having Nick 101 on the roster.
On the other hand, the other side of the scale, they're quite far down the bottom. In fact, they didn't pick up any points from game 1, so they are equal last place with Team Ferox. We've already lost a player in this game. The first player to be lost was 1405. So it's going to be another tough game here for Creatory Esports. Looks like they're going to have to play from the edge. Unlikely to get a center position. Gems does get the knock onto bad guys. We keep an eye on Ferox. Jump over to Gems and see if he can finish that kill off. Doesn't look like that is going to happen.
I'm not necessarily surprised with what we're seeing, though, Jordan. I think, we both touched on this so far throughout the broadcast, probably more so around the pre-match and pre-game 1. As Poo Chills, somehow it's Chills, does find a frag onto 74L1 from DIC, but this notion that when you have a whole bunch of teams who dance this early on, considering what they've shown us in the first game, Ferox got to be careful as they rotate past Division X Gaming. Long K with a bit of help from 19 Cent. Sweet Soul gonna go down early. Again, 2 matches in a row. Ferox is just having a horrid start here for the PCS Charity Showdown.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. I mean, he just got absolutely decked out of his buggy. Not much you can do about that, I guess. But either way, Ferox is going to have to deal with it. And they're now sort of stuck in a massive crossfire. Blue at the back of Division X Gaming, though. So they do actually need to get rid of Nikus, who is out in the middle of no man's land. He's definitely a goner. So it falls to Kozzy and Grums to try and salvage the situation here. Maybe try and get a few more points on the board. But I think they might just be cooked, Ferox.
Yeah, I'd have to tend to agree with you in this situation. I mean, they're surrounded. They're only down to 2 players remaining. Grump's going to be knocked down by MBK for what we see in the kill feed, and that's probably going to be Ferox going out in last place once again. And to be truth to it, I mean, while we're not trying to be biased here, I think we both agreed coming into this that Ferox definitely was the weakest of the Australian teams. They didn't perform that very good in Onslaught League when they did participate in it. So I'm not too surprised by this. I think at some point, obviously, over the next 18 games after this, they will find a bit more of a rhythm, maybe get off the bottom. But hey, someone's going to be last, and right now it's Ferox. And 15 minutes gone here into match 2. Someone else is going to be joining them soon. Who's it going to be, though? Is it going to be Divine Esports or Cerberus Esports? Considering they're both trying to share this compound.
Well, I think a lot is going to be dictated by where this next circle does end up shifting to as well, as we'll get a quick look and see where that's going to go, north or south. And it does end up going south. So luckily for Cerberus and for Divine, that probably now makes them feel a little more comfortable in that they're not going to have to necessarily push this engagement if they don't want to. Grenade is going to get thrown in there by Turtle. Doesn't look like it's gone deep enough. But at the very least, they're not going to have that pressure of the blue at their backs. They can just slow things down here in this engagement. It's the likes of Atletico, Fury, VTF, Division X Gaming as well, up towards the northern side of the map, that are going to have to really get a bit of a wriggle on now.
I mean, there's no rush in this exchange between Divine and Cerberus, though. Both inside of the circle, obviously, since they're only inches apart. Smoke from Subang. This is where you have got to rush, though. If you're Golden Cat, you've got to take this fight. Blue Zone's going to start moving in 7 seconds. At the top of this hill, Tino's going to spot Reality. Headshot with the spray through the grass. Spots him even prone. Tino is insane. Only IQ 500 remaining in front of him. And for Creatory Esports, essentially partnered up with Ferox at the moment as the two teams that are just getting bullied here at the PCS APAC Charity Showdown. But over to Atletico Jordan, and they're going to get flashed down, immediately traded back by Mighty. Vanatic is going to push up at the backside. He's got Extreme just to his right now, spots him. Look at the control from Vanatica. Extreme had no idea what just hit him. Atletico take it out in 14th. And just for reference, we did see Creatory Esports take it out in 15th position just prior to that. So there's two teams. Anquan, double tap headshot, sits down Vanatica. The two teams that went out in the bottom two in the first game, once again, Jordan, go out in match 2 in the bottom 2.
Yeah, definitely pretty rough. You know, we've been saying like there are plenty more days to play, but you can't be affording to go out in last 2 games in a row and expect to have a good solid performance. So really time for those. The vehicles have been left behind here. Maybe DIC can try to pick 1 or 2 of those up and rotate off. I don't think they want to be running straight into day trade now that they've got that hard cover in that compound.
Oh man, talk about garage section. Basil over to crates. 35 seconds till phase 5.
Oh, that's not fun. JJ Leo is just in a massive crossfire. It's not just him, it's the rest of day trade as well. They're going to have to run right into this, and that circle pushing at their back. Métis, he's got a couple of kills. This team's got a few, actually. So it's not going to be the end of the world for them. They'll still pick up some points off of this game, but running right into Division X Gaming, and you can tell that this is not going to go too well for them. I'm sure Division X Gaming are going to pick up 1 or 2 more frags here, although Métis perhaps might be unspotted up on that defilade. I spoke too soon. Straight away, Long K takes him down as soon as he walks over the ridge, and that'll be that. It's a good position, actually, for Division X Gaming. They do have a nice rotation in.
Entered the game. I've got to say, in terms of anticipating what's going to be happening here, Divine and Cerberus are probably going to have to fight it out on the south side of this next zone. So Pau has accidentally ran over his teammate 19 cents as they start to push out of the Wizzy Tower. Over to Rollsock, the edge of Rollsock on the eastern side. On Boya, just holding at the concrete walls. Mad Dog just ever so slowly and cautiously pushes up. 416 in hand, but an 8 in hand for Escalasia. Gonna throw it towards the impending car, and well, Homboya, that's how you do it. Blows up Colbs. Mad Dog wants to return fire with a nade of his own, trying to throw it inside. We'll see what he can find. Right window, makes it inside, gets knocked out. I mean, what else do you want? That's an A+ throw from Mad Dog. I'm not sure whether or not he's going to be able to confirm it, though. Yeah, exactly right.
Definitely not working out for him. QC, I was going to say, look like they're having another good game here, but they have just lost gems. Duckman's picking that kill up. AAP being bailed out just momentarily by Made in Thailand, but I'm not sure how long that is going to last. Jayers gets on the inside flank. He's actually just about inside the safe zone, whereas Made in Thailand are going to have to rotate their way in.
Bang, gone. Now time for Divine Esports to see what they've got. Well, they got nothing. Bad Guy cleans them up. He picks up a 3K. 4 for Cerberus Esports. They win the Battle of the South. 9 teams remaining still, actually, with 21 minutes to go. No placement points have been awarded just yet. Still 1 more team to be knocked out before they can get into the top 8. And this is where it probably slows down a little bit. We saw quite a slaughterfest over the last 5 to 6 minutes, and since then, now you probably think so many players have been wiped out. Well, a couple more will go. It should slow down. Made in Thailand making the push out of Rollsockers, prone for Duckman. So Power's got him covered, though.
And it into the water, and I don't know how they get out of this one alive, Xenox. I mean, they're going to come out underneath the bridge, which is where VTF is holding at the moment, and Made in Thailand on the other side. So they've just walked into a crossfire, or rather, driven into a crossfire. Finally, Anquan has been spotted as well. This is not going to be an easy game for Division X to get out of.
Certainly not. They've ran into the 3 trolls underneath the bridge, but Sapao finds a double kill onto Man and Tede, and all of a sudden, Jordan, what you were saying now might not be the case. Never mind, and Trufraga gets MBK. That just makes it that little bit harder. Stolen by Homboya and Duckman, both combining. 6 kills now for Myth. Sapao still on the edge of this bridge. but it's actually going to be Q Confirmed that goes out at 9th. Wiped out by Made in Thailand. And the team that performed arguably the best in match 1, eliminated now here in match 2, just outside of the placement points. Nade's not going to confirm Sapal. And True Fragger probably wants to try and get this revive. Minoru just spotting the butt cheeks of Sapal. Now spots Anquan in the water, as you said. He's been swimming in there for ages. Time to get out of the pool, says Sapal. And there goes DIC.
Fury's come in as well from the other side, and they've started to throw a couple of shots in the direction of VTF and Division X as well. It is in the end Division X gaming that actually come out of that engagement the better off, but it's not so good. They've only got 1 player left alive. That said, 11 kills you can't be disappointed with, as we do see Made in Thailand now pushing in the direction of Phoenix Gaming, who have been in the center of the points available for them in the near future. They don't want to go down without too much on the board at the very least here in terms of kills.
Fury Australia have been very passive up north, not really looking to take much ground space. You can see everyone's playing on the edge of this circle because there's really nothing in the center. So power spotted by Waiki Kamukau. He gets on the board for Fury Australia. 5 teams remain as the observer starts to unveil the location here for Phase 7 coming up in 10 seconds time. 5 kills plus the win. And that's a huge amount of points to get them back potentially into the top 3. You see the live rankings, the top 3 all on 20 points at the moment plus.
Yeah, Phoenix Gaming also struggling in game number 1. They only got a couple of points out of that. They're definitely on the way to getting some more points out of it. Now this is going to be what's interesting though. Fury, obviously the team that's going to have to rotate in. They've got a very, very difficult rotate as well. There's not that much cover for them. So we'll see whether or not they're actually going to be able to get in safely. They're going to crash Made in Thailand, and that is never going to work out. Bonboya starts off well. It's Ronan down early. Insight cops a shot from Phoenix Gaming. And it was really just a rock and a hard place for Fury, wasn't it? They kind of had to go. But in reality, what are you going to be able to do when you're running into a crossfire between 2 teams? Waiki Kamukau might be able to show us something a little interesting here because he is still alive and unaccounted for.
So is Jukesy. He stayed behind. He was an anchor. So they sent 3 forward, 2 died. Waiki Kamukau stays alive in the concrete wall. And as I finished saying my sentence, Esqualugia will get the knockdown onto Waiki Kamukau, and that's going to make it incredibly tough now for Jukesy. Only the 1 kill as well for Fury Australia. They've gone into this very passively. They didn't really have much in front of them, though, I've got to say. They didn't have a whole lot they could really do. In the end, the breach was their only option.
Jukesy,
as you said, nowhere to go.
He needs to start getting a bit of a wriggle on. That zone is pushing at his back. I think Made in Thailand know exactly where he is as well, so he'll pop his head up and yeah, he's going to get finished off very quickly indeed. A rough one for Fury Australia. They definitely needed a bit more of a favorable shift to come out Island to actually end up making this push. In the meanwhile, a bit of movement being made on the other side of the map. As BRU get themselves safe in a center circle position. Now the engagement starts between Made in Thailand and Phoenix. Right now, 1-for-1. Bonboya will try to hold on to that spray, but he'll have to back on up. Greeny has got so many ways to look, and Kush will fall in front of his eyes to a grenade. This is still just absolute madness. Really anyone's game, but I think Minoru might be in a bit of a spot of bother here, stuck inside that blue.
2 left for Made in Thailand, Minoru and Homboy up, but in the end, they come out on top against Phoenix Gaming. Not as clean as they would have liked. That blue's going to continue because they are now into Phase 9. It's not going to stop. That exchange lasted a little bit longer than they would have liked. I think the other thing as well is it comes down to whether or not Cerberus, Made in Thailand, take the fight against each other, or if they both cooperate and take the fight to Buriram United Esports. But it seems like it's going to be a mix of both. The flash on a high Saki makes it difficult. Goes down to the blue, but it's God now who's going to pick up the elimination, and Konaxi finds Bad Guy. There goes Cerberus in 3rd, and wow, quickly to follow. Homboya's position make no impact in the end for Made in Thailand. It was the numbers of Buriram